Welcome to Uplink Runthru mod or Runthru video. This is going to be a quick tutorial of how to install the game, mod it, Uplink OS and gateways. I made a new Uplink pack that I'll post a new link for. This has my original gateways, but I made it a little more streamlined. It has the ultimate guide still, but it has a trial version of Uplink now, and my new and OS along with it. And on top of it, I made a new gateway pack that now just needs to be extracted along with the Uplink OS right in the Uplink folder. So should make it relatively streamlined. So you install Uplink and generally C programs files x86, and then you want to extract the Uplink OS to C Uplink or C program files x86 Uplink. Extract it, and then do the same thing to my mod zip as well, to the same place. So now it's a little express. Now it's got its modded gateways and its Uplink OS. Then navigate to the install folder, Uplink x86, our program files x86, and copy the Uplink OS executable, and copy paste the shortcut to your desktop. Now that is now your new shortcut to your new mod. And then you can keep the old one, and essentially now you have like an old school, so if you ever want to bring it up again and show somebody the retro graphics, you can. But that's kind of how the mod works. The Uplink OS now works as the new executable for the game, launching all the new high-def graphics. Now I'm just going to make a new account run through. Purpose of this is just to show you essentially how to, without cheating, without using the negative price mods or what have you, this is a way to show you how to straight up with the default gateway in under an hour or just over an hour. This video is no cuts, no, going to be a straight capture. So you're going to start off with your test mission, and you're just telling your internal service machine is where you get all your good stuff. And I like to go to the bank right away, or just to at least show that they put you $3 grand in the hole anyways. That's the money you start off with. You might as well take 4. So that's a little something, especially if you're first starting out. Hey, there's an extra grand there, right off the kick. And quickly jump into the internal service machine and grab your password breaker. Then jump into inner IC and crack that. You're doing that because your CPU or this default gateway is slow as hell. So everything you can do ahead of time and just get done that you don't have to do mid-hack or after a hack is you need the time. You need and want the time. And then go jump into the browse section, and you want to add all the public server. Type in public, and you want to add in all your public access servers. Seems to be a very successful strategy. I've used it now quite a few playthroughs, and it works just fine. That's all you need. And this actually services, it's mostly just because it services so many different uses that there's not too much that, and then now add your banks. Yeah, it does serve a lot of, it serves a huge use, so. And then add your academy, so International Academy Database and Global Criminal Database and Social Security, International Social Security Database. Those are your mission types. Now granted, we're kind of skipping over them, but it's for doing them later, and I assume anybody that's playing this game for the first time is eventually going to tackle one. So just get it added. It's one of the missions. And then I usually add the stock market just because it is there, and you can make an account. And once you're Midas rich here, if you're doing this run through, then you'll be Midas rich in a matter of an hour or so. So now you want to, now you have all the public access servers, favorite all the stuff at the top, down to the public access servers, and the stuff at the bottom. Enter IC, and then now your favorites list is all in aqua text, and then your missions come up gold. So now you know every one of these plain white boxes is a public access server. Which, and then now you're going to make your hop list, which you're going to use throughout the entire of the game. You can use the randomizer too later on, but it's unnecessary and it creates logs everywhere. It's another reason why I use this method is because nobody uses public access servers for hops. So, or what I mean by that is trace the hacker missions. When you have to trace other hackers, they don't use them because they create dead ends essentially. I mean, granted, if the game was being, you know, real, it would be, you know, since these things don't have a log thing to find, it would be like a, you shouldn't even have to go back and cover your tracks. So now save that and then just jump. You can then jump to the test mission, and then granted you don't need it for the test mission, but you know you just created it, and it's a great way to get a great bounce log or bounce hops right off the kick. And there's plenty of them. Public access servers so many that it's at that threshold where no more is gonna do you any good. I've tried. Low security systems, you get a good 600 something seconds, and then low high security, you get about 90. And that's about the best you're gonna do. Minus, you know, your monitor bypass, your firewall bypass, your proxy bypass. Those things are the things that help you down the road because and then of course a better gateway. You just those 90 seconds aren't so eaten up by how slow your machine is anymore. So those are the things that are going to improve your odds down the road and on harder missions. But unfortunately, bounces are only take you so far, and the public access servers are plenty, especially for your low security. Honestly, that's the real low security internal service machines, and is where the bounces really come in handy. Once you get into higher security, it's kind of moot. LAN hacks and whatnot will just disconnect you. So now you want to jump into your, you already grabbed the password breaker, you just want to jump into your test, grab the data, and then send them the email, and then delete your test data, because it takes up a lot of space, and you don't have on this gateway, you don't have a whole lot of space in this gateway, so, and it's a big one. So they're trying to catch you with it and make you fill up your hard drive space at first, and make you, you know, buy a little hard drive space just to get by when you don't really need it. And now I'm going to hit the mission list, and I'm going to front half from all of the delete a file missions first. The reason for this is delete a files are much faster and just more express. You don't have a lot of hard drive space, so the more you can get out of them, the better. And depending, it's a random generation or a random algorithm, so you don't know for sure how many you're going to get. Like I did one random generation and I got like 17 or 16 delete a file missions. So that was, and right now I'm going to take 18. And there's a point for that. I found out 17, 18 is right where you hit grade 5. So, and grade 5 is where we want to end. And then now I'm going to front half from all of them. And you have to aggro, if you will be able to get all, you might have to aggro them 5 times or 3 times or sometimes just once, and you'll eventually get it. And I found that this actually 18 missions and fronting half, and then fronting half from your trace of balance transfer missions does actually give you plenty of seed money, so it kind of makes the taking the loan from the bank moot. You can almost pay them back right away, because you are going to get, we're only going to do this on just bare minimum, so we really aren't going to have, we don't need a whole lot of front money. We're just going to get this done, and then from there we're just going to go straight to a boss gateway and all the software. So, and 18, 17, 18 missions is actually, if you especially make sure you get half for all of them, is right there on the, I generally have like 9 grand left over, or 12 or something like that, in that ballpark. Alright, so we're going to keep going. It looks like we're going to get about, I don't know, I'm hoping you get about at least 14 or something like that. And the reason for that, we take them first, is because that's how the order will come up in your email. So you'll know most of like the bottom emails are all delete, and then like your top 3, 4, however many copy file missions are right there at the top. And helps just keep it straight in your mind so you don't accidentally delete or copy. You know what I mean? It's just a nice reference. So you don't even have to actually read the email to be like, yeah, it's at the very top. That's a copy, or and once those are all wiped out, okay, now you're just to delete. Good way to just lessen the confusion. All right. Getting there, getting there. Yeah, and this is supposed to basically serves an all-in-one starter guide for anybody who's playing straight up, or um, for anybody, yeah, that doesn't even have mods or anything really. I mean, this is done with the bare minimum, so it'll pretty much work. I'm using no loopholes, or the only thing we're gonna do is after we're gonna buy a modded machine, but. And I did add I added like to my original mod pack, I added like 5 new AWOL mods. I found their website just basically of their custom uplink mods and or gateways, and there is more, so I'll post their link. I got like the top 5, and I added them in my pack and then made it just all-in-one extract. So now it's my old gateways, and then theirs, 5 of theirs. And they're more reasonably priced. They're not so cheaty priced. They're like $1 million each rather than just being a couple 100,000. So it does make it a little bit more of an investment. And okay, now you're okay. Getting there, getting there. Just a couple more. Now hit your apps, and then you want your best log deleter and your best trace tracker. Don't mess around with the lower versions. And now I'm going to hit the enter IC and delete the logs from the test mission and make sure it's clean. Again, shitty gateway, slow, less to delete. And then now we're going to be looking for grouped missions. So try to find the ones that are 3, 4, and then work your way down to the ones that are only duplicates, 2, and then kill your one-offs. And that'll kind of just slim this list and not make it so overbearing really quick. So it looks like Alf has 4, so we're going to go do that. Or Alpha. Bring up the old trace tracker. And password break it. 600 seconds. So again, low security system. So this is where the hops really do your justice right here. And again, public access servers are plenty. Bidding. And now it's a few copies, a few deletes. So we're just gonna, and then 600 some seconds with this hop list and everything. You have plenty of time to download your files, return them, delete the files, and then reply to the emails. Make sure you get them all. Double check your list and make sure you get them all. And the emails, you can see the front underneath the mission objective, and that actually states the um, company. First one is the company that's for, and the bottom end one is the target company. So you can kind of use that. That's what I'm looking at, sorting the list. And you peruse that, make sure you get them all before you disconnect. That way you don't have to reconnect, like, oh, I forgot one, then you're going to have to reconnect to it and finish that one. It's like doing the hack all over again, but just for one file when you could have got it all in one swoop. So I'm just replying to all these and then sending the corresponding file. Nope, forgot one. Oh, that's delete. So yeah, you can use that task manager up there that says CPU. You can use that to kill tasks or shift priority. So something like this with the 500 something seconds, you're not really worried about it. You could actually go in there and really dumb down your trace tracker and give it like no resources, and or just not even run one, kill it. Now if you get busted, you deserve to get busted. That's a long ass time. Alright, disconnect, cover your tracks. Yeah, I'm making this just to show how easy Uplink is, once you get the hang, once you know what you're doing and once you can really know the steps and whatnot and exactly what software you need and what missions you're looking for. It's a great thing without having to take advantage of like gateway mods minus, negative, and just buy them over and over again to become a millionaire like instantly. I still use the modded gateways just because a lot of the LAN hacks and whatnot, still, that's why I say high security bounces don't really matter, because once you get into high security, they cut you off before they even get close to tracing you. They just deny you access. They just want to make you bounce in and out 3 times, to finish a copy, especially a copy of databases and certain things that take time. So having that beastie of a CP modded gateway allows you to at least maybe get away with it in one try before you're disconnected. But a lot of them disconnect you pretty quick. I mean, that's kind of the only difference with the stupid high security is at the end they just disconnect you so fast. It's like, Jesus, I couldn't do anything. They barely even start, they get the trace tracker shows them only getting like 2-3 hops and then they disconnect you. Like, really? It's dirty. So the faster spoken gateways allow you to download, delete, pretty much everything that much faster. Just get in, run your deciphers and all that just so fast that it becomes almost secondary. No time is wasted. All right, a few deletes. So that's what I do like. I mean, that's not great. And then the AWOLs are a nice balance. So you can go in and delete, all the other gateways that might be too cheaty for your taste, or delete the ones that are too straight up for your taste. I don't know, which way works. Truthfully. Yep, it's got 3, yeah. Silicon Valley. Just killing it. Cover your tracks. See, we're just getting this done with this bare minimum. I mean, what do we have? We have a password breaker, a trace tracker, and a log deleter. That is it. Alright, cover tracks, fast forward a little time. I like the fast forward time after every hack. The one downside to using the save the public access servers is that if you reconnect to a server that you just hacked too fast, well, because you're using the same route and didn't mix it up, they can generally resume their trace, or they can sometimes resume their trace and skip, that first 30 seconds or whatever. Now, fast forwarding time just fixes that. Just when you connect too fast, they have a memory, so to speak. Just like, sometimes you lower security internal service machines, you jump in fast enough, they haven't changed the password yet. But so that's kind of one of them, but that's why I just and I like fast forwarding a little time between each set of missions just because that's a good way to ensure, okay, I got away with it. You're either going to get a up in status or, or just, yeah, nothing. If not, you hit that fast forward button just for a little bit and you don't go to jail and your, machine doesn't shut down or you don't see you got fined in your email, then you got away with it clean. So has kind of a dual purpose. Just something to hit that quick, and then you can reconnect to your last hack if you had to bounce out and bounce back in. It's just a good way to shuffle their memory. Okay, so I got 3. All right, this is dwindling, and as we can see, we're accumulating our next half of our front money. Now you can aggro them for all, but you kind of already have to complete the missions to get to where you need to be anyway, so half is fine. Half of it allows the front money to complete these. The other half, when you're done, allows you to jump into the next stage, so it works. And honestly, you just got to aggro more when you want all of it, it seems. Alright, cover your tracks, and then try to remember to keep your, the whole thing of that is just if you get too spacey, you quickly fill it up, and all of a sudden you're in the middle of a hack, and it might be a 90-second high security, and oh, you don't have the drive space, so that's um, um, not that's kind of inconvenient. And then your gateway's so slow, just deleting a file off your own gateway takes forever. So it definitely not something you want to run into. And hence why I also say, to um, delete that test mission right away and keep your memory from filling out and take all those delete a file missions instead of copy. You won't run into that if you only got 4 or 5 of them. But if you just kind of randomly take, which I did try and did, and it wasn't too, it's just I realized, oh wow, if I just stock up and delete a file missions, you don't have to worry about running into that. Not too many, you still might only get 11 of them. It's random, so you might only get like 11 delete a files. You still have to do 6 or 7, 8 copy a file. So it just keeps your list a little bit more, fluid, so that we can jump in those 3 servers and just delete 3 files. Done. Reply, reply, reply. And cover your tracks. And yeah, another reason for this is because I am showing you how to get by in bare minimum software, but a lot of that's why we want to just take 18 of these and be done with it, because the Academy, Global Criminal Database, and Social Security, those are your 3 mission types pretty much between grade 5. So these 18 will put us right at grade 5, which is compatible with, or is right where you need to be to get trace and balance transfer missions. And I've never seen it give you more trace and balance transfer missions when you just land in grade 5. It'll give you, it generally can algorithm you out maybe 3, 4, 5 even upwards. Now sometimes I've seen it as low as 2, but I mean it's seems pretty 2 is pretty much guaranteed, and 3 seems to be the, if you get a decent one, then 4 and 5 is just like holy crap, and it has happened. So the trace of balance transfers, we're kind of just skipping around, and we're just going to get exactly what we need to complete these missions and then that mission. So the in between ones kind of are going to force you to upgrade here, a little extra there, and it's going to bit by bit get you there and be in the same place as where you purchase a balance transfer, but it's also what's going to force you to spend a little bit more money, and this is just an easier way to just get there. Because it's so, like, when you're doing those other missions, it's so easy to be like, oh, you know what, I'm going to need a little better gateway. Nothing big, you know, how about I just front this? And dude, it's what's going to lead you down the wrong path. I realize just doing this is just, ooh, get the just the right amount, 8, 17, 18, grade 5. You're you're already on the race, and then all we're actually going to be doing is getting one more piece of software, proxy disabler, top level, and then we're going to be and then getting the best CPU hardware upgrade, and that's about it. And then after that, it's going to be, you know, rip off a few bank accounts and max out to the best gateway and machine you could possibly want. And we're going to do a file upload server, and I'll show you how to back up all your software so you don't have to buy that over again. So that way when you use your gateway nuke or use your motion sensor, and you know, instead of getting busted, you can just hit that, but you have to build your gateway again. So you just got to make sure to rip off enough money to build your gateway twice-ish, and then you'll have a restart, or a legitimate restart. It'll save your custom inner IC and all that, but all the favorites and bookmarks and connections. But other than that, it's going to be a default gateway again. So you're going to have to buy your gateway and all your CPUs again. But the file upload server, that'll be in your favorites, and you can just jump right to it and upload all your software when you're done building your gateway. So I'll do that as well. That's just kind of PC for what to do once you're topped out and, you know, okay, you've successfully ripped off a bank. You have, you know, all the top software. You have a gateway nuke, so you have that option. And that's essentially how the game is. Since this game doesn't have technically a save game or anything like that. That's like the only way to, you know, otherwise it just gives you that ending score and game over. You know, it's kind of one of those hard level, you know, hardcore modes, you know, once you're caught, you're caught. All right, just a couple more. Now, if you are one of those that, if you just get a fine, if doing this and whatnot, messing around, you do get caught, you might want to, you know, in the middle, because we are getting the proxy disabler, so you can go ahead and finish your list, and then do a global criminal database and look up your own name and clear your own criminal history. So sometimes a lot of these internal service machines, especially if it's a low mid-grade hack, especially in an internal service machine or a low security internal service machine, they'll just give you a warning and $1,000 fine. But you just got charged, and your grade will go down, so you might not hit grade 5 now, and your level will go down a tick, and you'll actually have something on your criminal record. You need to hack the global criminal database and remove that from your record, and then you'll be like, the game started again. Because if you get another one of those, eventually the game will end on you. So it's a way to kind of restart that like it never happened. It'll nuke the slate clean. And you'll see when you look up your own name in the global criminal database that you have a charge on there for whatever attempted hacking. So yes, you need to hack your criminal database and clear your own criminal record. Otherwise, if you get another charge like that, again, even though it's low level, then they'll end you. Otherwise, if you remove that, you'll get another, warning. Here's $1,000 fine. All right, one left. Hell yeah. It's going well. Yeah, these things you can just crunch out. And it's just delete files left, so real quick and dirty. Okay, cover our tracks. Okay. Fast forward a little time, and now our mission list is clean. And now we got about 20-something thousand to play with. And now we're going to check our mission list. Alright, yep. Clean in, check our mission list. Trace a balance transfer. There's one. And we're in the front half. Get our next phase of our seed money. This is why you get plenty. If you get enough, especially if you get enough of these. Ooh, 2. And then, come on, one more. 3 is perfect. 3 is perfect. Bam. Yes. And now you just got that little extra seed money, so yeah, no, you can pay back your loan, and still we'll have the money what we did, to do what we need to do here last. And buy the top grade proxy disabler. And then go to hardware and buy the top CPU. And then fast forward a little time, wait for the confirmation email you got the upgrade. Voila. And now we have 3 trace of balance transfer missions. And now we're going to go to notes, or no, gateway, and then we'll show we got the 200 gigahertz processor. And then we'll go to notes, and we're going to make a new called banks. You can name it, trace a balance transfer, whatever. And we're going to take a note of our input at the bottom. We're going to put our bank IP and account number as just, it's to keep the sources or your source information the same, so you can have all the information you need and you're only looking in one spot. Okay. Alright, now check, now we'll take a look at our mission list. Okay, and then load and on with it. put in there the account number that's in the email. It's kind of the end run to trace a balance transfer. That's why it's low security or difficulty 5. It's because they give you the account level, so you're actually hacking into it on a user level versus a mid level. So it's actually not as hard as a hack. So I would get by with bare minimum software. I also have a few other tricks. So and I forgot to bring up my trace tracker, but it's 90 seconds, just like any high security. But we just want to get into statements, and ooh, 1.2 million, 3 million. Oof, that's a good haul. And take a note of the IP and the account number of the transfer, and that's the target. And get out of there and cover your tracks, and then fast forward a little time. Ba 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 ba. And you see that 200 gigahertz processor is just enough to give us a little bit more, oomph on our deleting, because we needed to do a few things, in and out. So, as you will see here. Load, and this happens to be the same source, but different bank account number. And we're going to bring up the trace tracker this time. Go into manage existing accounts, and then put in the account number from the note from the log. And this is the target machine of the mission, basically. This is what they're asking you to do, is trace this guy. And this account number, where the money went. They knew where it was, but they didn't know where the transfer went, and who it went to. Alright, enter IC, cover your tracks, and this is the trick, especially at low grade, shitty gateway, new at the game, whatever. There's a nice little trick here. You bounce once you get access to your target account, bounce right out and cover your tracks, or disconnect right away. Get the enter IC, delete your logs, and then fast forward a little time, and then load and can reconnect to the bank. And every account that you successfully hack will save in the history. So go back, find that account number, reload the history, log in, and now you won't be trace tracked. Nice little trick, especially if you're not fast at typing or just new at the game, or just, it gives you all the time in the world to take a note of the reply to the email, take a note of the name, and reply to them. And that completes the mission. And then take a note next to it how much is in the bank account. So in this case, it's 1.3 million, 800 and some thousand, or 500 some thousand, or 5,000. And then go to transfer money and fill out your fields. So you want your bank IP, which you took a note of at the bottom, and then your account number. And then that amount is what you just jotted down next. So then put in the amount, I guess, to the dollar if you don't mind draining them dry. Otherwise, round it off, whatever. It's 1.3 million, so. And then once you're all done with the information, bring up your proxy disabler and hit it. That's when the trace will actually begin. That's when they're on to you. Now transfer the money, and then quickly go into statements or view statement and delete both logs of your transfer and the transfer. Now granted, the top one is the main one, the one your transfer, but I like deleting the other one just because it's kind of funny, It's like the bank will have no record of them having the money ever. Now quickly jump to your bank, which mine's obfuscated behind some other crap, but there we go. And then basically like you're hacking it, because you're going to quickly get into your account and then enable your proxy disabler. And as soon as it's done, delete that you ever received the transfer. That's very key. There you go, and then bounce out. Now get to enter IC and cover your logs. I just like deleting that second one because it's like they never received the money. So what are they going to do? Complain about money that bank has no log of them never receiving? tracks. And disconnect, fast forward a little time, and we should get a major bump in grade. Congratulations, yes. And we're, what, $1.3 million richer. And my status is grade 9. Ooh, from 5 to 9. And they kind of do that purposely because now you have enough money to really deck yourself out. So, I mean, you're pretty much, money is no longer your concern. Or, yeah, it's definitely after we complete all 3 of these, they're really not going to be our concern. So, they know you're going to, as long as you know what to do with that money, you know, you're maxed out. You know, you have the best of the best, all the software, you're ready for it. Because it's not a mission, actually, you know what I mean? Like, completing the trace of balance transfer mission doesn't actually bring you up to grade 9. Like, it's only after you do the hack and steal the money clean that they award you that grade level. So that's kind of funny too. And we're gonna quickly get in and just take a note of the IP and the account number. I mean, you can, if this is kind of stressful or whatever, if you're new and need time, just do the same thing. Get access, bounce out, and bounce back in. You'll have all the time in the world to take a note of it and then bounce out and cover your tracks. It's just, this will save a little time, a little less bouncing, and I know I can get that note quick enough. I ain't worried about it. Cover our tracks. Alright. Fast forward a little time. And then we're gonna see what bank it is. Another reason why we put the banks right away in IC. They do become, I mean, obviously, if it is kind of a later on, once you're decked out, if you want to hack all the banks and all the accounts and drain them dry, you can. So it's another reason to put all the banks in your list. And it makes this obviously a lot easier. So we know it's Signa Bank, so we're just Signa Computers. So put that account number in and crack it. Alright, now bounce out, clear, cover your tracks. Alright. And then jump back in. And then reply to go into account and send their name. And reply to the email, send their name. And take a note of how much money is in there. Now transfer the funds. Bank IP. Your account number. And how much they had in their bank account. Now transfer and delete your logs, or your statements, I should say. Yeah, that first one is key because that just obviously right to your bank account, right to your bank IP. That's right to you. The second one's just, yeah, that's good gag for, like, what money? We have no record of you having any money. Quickly bounce to yours, disable, and delete you receiving every money. Those are the two, top one and that one is the most important. I'm just going to make sure you get away clean. And then deleting your inner IC logs like normal. That's pretty much the last step, and you're scot-free. Bing, 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 bing. Alright. Another grade. Now I'm grade 11. So now completing one, it bumped me up 2 grades instead of 4. And now the next mission. Or I should say the last one. And 3 is just perfect to set you up, especially with these no AWL mods, are a little reasonable, so you need a little more chunk of change to stock them out, or to at least afford the gateway and all the CPUs. Alright. Take a note of the bank's IP and account number. And cover your tracks. Fast forward a little time. Figure out what bank it's at. Looks like Silicon Valley. Alright, put it in the account number you took a note of. Password break it. Alright, bounce out quick. Cover your tracks. Fast forward a little time and go back. Log back in and send them the name. Oh, must have mistyped it. Yeah, they're picky on their spelling. That's why Academy sucks so much. It's you gotta spell it just right, put it in just the right field, and yeah. Social Security and Global are a little better, but same difference. So with the Uplink walkthrough that I gave you, the ultimate guide and Word doc is a good little just referral for remembering exactly what to do. And hell, I referred to it when I made the walkthrough just so I knew exactly the steps. Make a note how much money they got, and all over again. Bank IP, your bank's IP, your account number. Alright, proxy disabled, the hunt is on. Delete your statements. And get the hell out of there. Quickly jump to your Uplink bank. New statement, proxy disable. And you definitely want to make sure you engage your hop list for it, because this is technically a hack. They will bust you for it. So you gotta get in there, delete them, and pretty much pull off this hack as quick as possible. There you go. That's why. And then when you jump and get the NRIC, you basically nuke out both hacks, bounce logs, all at once. Not to mention they happen pretty fast, so you don't have a whole lot of time to do it twice before one of them finishes their trace. So. There we go. Pass for a little time, and then another bump in grade. Now I'm grade 12. So I don't know if one more would bump you up even one grade, but definitely a hell of a fucking hop. And so now it's time to just look at the gateways. And all these AWO wells have, a much more reasonable price. But of course, I have my really boss ones that are, you can get one trace balance transfer and pretty much go ahead and rock and roll. But we're gonna take that AWL mod. 30 CPUs, 280 gigawatts. It's actually green machine, or better, but hey, it's less shitty price. So I'm gonna fast forward a little time, sign out, sign back in. It's for our new gateway to be installed. Alright, now you can see, now we got a lot of room for CPUs, all the goodies. Go back, and now we're gonna hit the hardware section. Hardware section it is. And we're just gonna buy, you seem to get reimbursed if you overbuy, so just go ahead and go nuts. Or just count to 30, whatever you're choosing. I find, yeah, just button smash it is fine. And you'll get reimbursed for the ones that fail. And the new AWL mod's got frickin' it's 9 million, so that one is so reasonably priced that you really need to, obviously even this little caper wasn't enough. And then especially it holds 149 CPUs. I mean, yeah, that's a lot. These CPUs are 12 grand a pop, so that doesn't add up to, that's, Jesus. Yeah, I don't want to do that kind of math right now, but it's going to be a lot in just CPUs alone. So I think it's got like 10,000 gigawatts of memory or something like that, something crazy. So yeah. So I would definitely, I know for a fact that you're going to have to grind it out for that kind of jam. You're really actually just going to have to hit the side missions and hang on for as many trace balance transfers you can get away with. actually play the game over time, and definitely all your story mission pay grades. Although all your story missions only pay like 50,000, things like that. They don't really pay. Trace balance transfers the only thing that really pay out huge, and like draining every single dollar from the every bank. Alright, now we're going to fast forward time and let all the upgrades commence. Alright. Delete all the emails and then check the gateway. Oh, there it is. 606,000 gigahertz, which is it's maxed out at 200 gigahertz processors, 288. Voila. 2 motion sensors, 2 nukes, which I think that's just stupidity. Like one of each is fine. And then we're gonna, just for shits and giggles, we're gonna pay off our loan. We don't need that. And we gotta look over $1 million to work with. Not enough actually for an AWL mod, but enough if you just want to buy a green machine or whatever. Alright, now we're gonna buy all the top grade software. All the HUD stuff. No versions. Bypassers, all max version. There we go. Log modifier and log undeleter. And we don't need the other crap. And then all LAN software, top version. That's what I mean about not rebuying. So now you didn't really waste any money at all other than the trace tracker and the proxy disabler, which are phased out by the HUD trace and proxy bypasser. So now we're going to look for a copy of file mission or a copy of proprietary file mission. And there's another trace of balance transfer, so you want to take that. Normally I would. We gain a little bit more money. And then now we want to take a copy proprietary source, basically 90 gigawatts or whatever and preferably difficulty 5 if you're just looking for an file upload server. They come in different difficulties because some are LAN or some are mainframe, some are higher security internal service machines. So difficulty 5 will ensure it's a really low security. And then of course with all the new gizmo, we got monitor bypass, firewall bypass, proxy bypass, so and we're rocking a beastie gateway, so it's really not like. So if you want to go dive on there and take on a mainframe or some high security, by all means, but this is actually pretty works pretty good. And then this says this is the only date files in here, so obviously this is what they're after right here. If there's 2 of them in there, you can look at your email and prioritize what they are looking for. We're going to cover our tracks. Voila. And then connect to our upload server. And then we're going to decrypt them all. We bought all top level shit, so level 4 is level version 4, but we just bought top level, so you're never going to have to worry about not being able to decrypt anything. And then after it's all done encrypting, upload it all to the server. So it's the same as download or copy. Bing, 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 bing. so fast. And now reply. And thank you very much. Okay, now we're all clean again. And then delete it all. Alright. And then we're going to nuke proxy disabler and trace tracker, because those are kind of moot at this point. And then we're going to upload the rest of it. And in Revelations, and as you take voice samples and save them, you can get a new upload server for them, or just use this. It's pretty big. I mean, it should sustain you. Here you go. Now you have your, and then go back to show all, favorite your upload server, and voila, now you have a backup in case you got to nuke your system. Fast forward a little time, okay. So now I figured this is a good point. We're gonna, for shits and giggles, we're gonna go ahead and do a uplink ghetto save, just to reiterate, you know, how you can save this game if you so choose. I figure this is a great for anybody that's playing this game and doesn't want to go through the grind and wants to really start this. You want this to kind of be your start point, and or just a save point, so you know when you have to start over. So we're going to go to the uplink folder, program files x86. We're going to find that folder, and I have a bit of permissions issue with C drive on Windows 10, so in this case we're just going to copy the uplink folder somewhere else. And then, well, that's just over at that plain uplink folder that I had. So we're going to make that uplink 2. And then we'll copy this. There we go. Voila. And then close that. And then we're going to make an archive of this. And that'll be your save. So you can either, you can honestly just delete your old version, you know, that folder of uplink and just extract this in its place. Rename it uplink save, and there you go. That's essentially kind of a snapshot of the game in time, right there, and at any point, and they can actually serve as an extract and play. So you can extract that anywhere on any computer and find that uplink OS exe and launch it. All right, have a good one.